back, everyone, to another episode of Spooky Japan Podcast. Hoping everyone is doing well today. It's a little bit of a chilly morning here in Japan, but it's probably that time of year. Today we have a very special guest with us, Tracy. How you doing, Tracy?
I'm fine, Amanda. Hello, Irene. Nice to meet both of you.
Nice to meet
Hi.
you. So, for the people out there who may not be familiar with who you are, how would you introduce yourself, and where did your journey into the paranormal begin?
Okay, well, my name is Tracy Jones. I'm on Channel 12 TV network and I'm known as Paranormal White Witch. My journey is through hereditary means. Every third female in my family is born a witch or a medium. Okay,
Mm,
I happen to be born both.
mm,
Didn't realize it for quite some time. My great grandmother was, skilled in country ways. That's how they used to phrase it back then. She could see people, she could heal people, that sort of thing. So, given that my mother had a very good relationship with her grandmother, when I started to exhibit some of these things, I would talk to relatives who weren't there, and you know, I knew things that I shouldn't have known. She just, oh, okay, she's going to be like Grandmom Croft. And she didn't persuade me one way or the other. I just grew up figuring it was normal and that everybody saw spirits and felt things that, they maybe other people didn't feel. I just, for me, it's always been normal. So I've never been scared of it.
That's good, especially when your family is supportive of it.
Yes,
mhm,
very supportive.
I grew up the opposite.
Oh,
So because I kind of had that gift growing up, but I had to hide it because I grew up as a Baptist minister's daughter. So to them, it was kind of scary because no one else in the family could.
mhm.
So yeah, it was for them. It was something of you must either be possessed or have a demon attachment if you know things that you shouldn't be knowing or that other
oh,
people don't know.
okay.
So I try to hide it down, but as I tell people, your gifts eventually have a way of coming out whether you want to or not. Because the other
Right.
side just tends to be like, nope, you have it, you're going to use it. We
Mhm.
know you have it, you're going to use it whether you like it or not. So you either eventually learn to accept it or
Right.
I don't know. It does have a way of coming out whether you want to or not,
Yeah.
as much you
Mhm.
try.
I did sort of hide it when I was, growing up from school friends because you don't, little kids, they all want to fit in with one another and they don't want to be that different person. So my mother did
Yeah.
suggest to me not to talk a whole lot about it at school. Not that she all never made me feel like it was weird or freakish or anything. And as I got older and, you saw social structures, then I understood, oh, this is why she doesn't want me to talk about it. So I didn't for a very long time. In fact, it's only been, hi, Thomas. It's only been about the past, I'm going to be 60 in June. So the past 40 years that I've been out of the broom closet, as it were.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that we understand having to hide it, especially in Japan, is Japan when it comes to the paranormal, it's funny. It's very taboo to be into the paranormal or talk about the paranormal. So that's also why we created Spooky Japan is to have that safe space for everyone to,
Sure.
for whatever reason it is in your life, you have to hide it. This is a safe place that we understand that
Okay.
you can't, for some odd reason, come out with it. So, because Irene can tell you that she can't tell anyone she's
Okay.
clairvoyant too here in Japan because she'll probably
Okay.
be locked up in the sane asylum.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't tell anybody.
Okay.
It's just a rule of thumb.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I
I
know
just.
people like, well, there's people who write books about the urban legends over there,
Mhm.
and to them, they don't consider themselves part of the paranormal. They consider themselves just storytelling of the stories of Japan. Because
Yeah.
we've
Okay.
tried reaching out to them, but even them, they're just like, yeah, no, we're not, we're not going near the ghosts,
Mhm.
the real ghosts.
Yeah.
I will tell you the
Yeah.
stories about them, but that's it. Not the urban legends, but not of the
Right, right,
actual ghosts.
right. Yeah,
Like
I know when
yeah,
I first started doing this podcast stuff, it wasn't, I think back the end of June, maybe beginning of July, something like that. And we came up with the name Paranormal White Witch. A lot of people were like, oh, I don't know. Is she going to put a spell on me? Is she going to be weird? Is she going to be this, that, or the other? And the reason I wanted to do it was to get all the stereotypes out of the way.
Mhm.
You know, we're not
Yeah.
all dressed in black and goth and, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted people to know, look, your next door neighbor could be one, and that's not a big deal.
Mhm. Yeah. People have a really weird idea. What would you call hang up about a witch? They think that they all do bad things. They all have make bad spells against other people and stuff like that. And
Yes,
I've seen it on Facebook. I said, you know what? You need to read up on that, because what you think about what witches are is not exactly what it really is. And yeah,
exactly.
and
Exactly.
it's just the most ridiculous comments I've ever heard in my life. Oh, if I'm gonna talk to her, she's gonna put a spell on me. I said, ha 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 ha. You wish, won't you? Right? I'm like, yeah. I said, you better be good. And if you say anything nasty, you're gonna you might be getting into trouble. I said that just to taunt them, just because I think it's so
Right,
funny. It's so
right.
stupid, right? And it's so
And
funny,
and
but
probably what those people don't realize is like think of it as my commandment, if you will. My
mhm,
number one is do what you will, harm you none. I cannot cause harm. I cannot
no,
hate. I cannot do negative to people. And that's like
no,
99.99% of us. You're
yeah,
Yeah.
always going to
yeah.
have a section that's,
Yeah. But you want to protect your home. You want to protect your
oh
family.
yeah,
You want to protect your land around your home. That's what it's all about,
absolutely.
right? And
Oh yeah,
clear the
definitely.
and if there's negative energy around, you want to clean the energy and make it positive.
Yes,
I mean, and I find most of us are I hate to say that, more religious than people who think they are, because through our, let's put it this way, saying prayers is like saying a spell, as far as I'm concerned.
yes, exactly. Exactly.
You put your intentions in it, right? And when your intentions are put in it, you make sure that your mind and your body and your soul are with it, and you make sure that it comes out exactly the way that you want it to come out. And
Exactly.
and people say, well, they're not religious. I said, you want to make a bet?
Yes, we are.
Yeah,
Yes, we
I
are.
at least I think we're more religious within ourselves, because we know
Mhm.
we believe in ourselves. And just instead of just going to church and saying blah 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 blah, okay, we're done, we can go home. And then they can do the most nastiest thing to other people and say the most worst thing to other people.
Yeah, yeah.
And you say, hey, hold on a second, weren't you supposed to be the Puritan? Like,
Right. Yeah. I know
and
exactly what you mean.
and it's the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard in my whole life. I guess that's why I quit going to church. I just
Okay.
find it so superficial.
I, I, s- I stopped going to church just because, from my experience, I always say from my experience, because other people are like, well, there's better churches out there. I've been to several churches where they're the most judgmental people I've ever met.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's
yeah,
Yeah.
amazing to me. Like,
yeah,
especially like when like I said, I grew up in the church, and I
yeah.
was that quiet kid who observed everyone. And it's just interesting to watch everyone at church still at church, the way they judge people.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, a lot of these church people, from talking to friends who are who, from talking to friends who were not going to church, who wasn't really
Mm-hmm.
religious, one person got curious and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna go to church. I'm gonna learn about God. Why not? So he
Mm-hmm.
went to church and he's like, I was turned away from churches for not, because I wasn't really a believer at that time. So
Mm-hmm.
he's like, the people ran him out because they were judging him poorly, and they were like, "Oh, you shouldn't even be here." And I'm like, "Isn't that the people you
That's
want to go
exactly
to
why
church
you should
as
be
a
there.
Christian?"
Exactly.
Oh,
Really.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
And
kind
he was
of.
just like, I told him, "Oh, you want to come to?" I asked him, I was like, "Do you want to come to church with me?" He's like, "Your church is one of the worst." And that's
Yeah.
actually when I really started watching people. I'm like, "Yeah, okay, now I see it. Because
Mhm.
unfortunately, they're just like, oh, you're not as good as us if you haven't been reading a Bible, or oh, you haven't really been at church before now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay. Why why are we judging these people? Why are we turning them away? And that's what I'm like. I'll keep I tell people I keep the morals and the values, but
Mhm.
other than that, religiously, I kind of stayed away from church for that
Yeah.
reason. Is I'm like I can't deal with all this judgmental stuff.
Right.
Especially if we're put together a little bit different than anybody else. You know that. You know what I mean,
Right.
right?
Oh,
We see
absolutely.
things that other people don't want to see. They can see. You can see it if you want to, right? But they refuse not to see it. They don't. They refuse not to believe it exists. So, yeah, I mean, you're the most judgmental person in the whole wide world and think that we're from Satan, or we're from the devil, or the devil made us do this. I go, oh God.
And we breathe.
If you only knew, right?
Oh, it's been fun at times. I mean,
Yeah.
let's put it this way, over the decades, I've
Mm,
just gotten a really thick skin about it. And
mm,
now I don't care what anybody says to me. If they see
yeah.
me with one of my pendants on
Hmm.
and they don't know what it is and they
Yeah.
assume it's from,
Yeah.
like from the show A Haunting and
Yeah.
I'm with the devil and this, that, and the other, I'll be happy to talk to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was one time I was around the grocery store and there was this Buster Hart, one of our seniors came
Hmm.
up to me and she put her finger in my face and said, "It's people like you that make this world a bad place. You're going to hell." And I said, "Well, as a matter of fact, I'll be there around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Would you like me to say hello to your brother?"
Yeah.
And she just got indignant and left. I couldn't help myself. I normally don't do that, but
Nope.
that was a particular day when I had had enough.
Yeah. Or you should say, "Oh, you gotta come with me." Like there's a
Yeah.
seat right next there for you. It's got your name on it too.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Two
get the
for one
same thing.
discount.
I wear an eyeball, okay? I wear an
Okay.
eye. And people come out and say, "Ooh, that's scary. Oh, are you the mark of the devil?"
Please, scary.
And I go, like, oh God. I need another cup of coffee. That's all I need to say at the end of it. And I
Yeah,
just walk away. And I think it's, oh gosh, you're so weird. Okay, goodbye.
right, right.
It's so funny because we can sit here, we can laugh about it because it's so stupid and so ridiculous. But mind you, this is the reality, okay? Um,
Sure.
this is what we face, right? And this is what we see. And God, if only we had a tape record and record
Oh,
what they
yeah.
say. Yeah, and see how ridiculous you sounded.
My favorite is, oh, okay, you're a witch and a medium. Give me the lottery numbers. No, it doesn't work like that.
No.
Oh,
It's
I've
not
seen
like
so
what you
many.
see on TV. I
I've,
mean, I would be a multi-billionaire if I could do that.
Oh,
yeah, I've
I
seen
think
Irene so many times posted new groups introducing herself, saying the clairvoyant, and that's what people say is tell me my future, and I'm like, it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
That's also
well,
not how she could.
in some instances, I can announce lottery numbers. Okay, I can't tell you which booth you will win and which booth you won't win. I can do that, right? Because the numbers come in my head out of I don't know where. It just pops in, and then I can say it just once and I won't remember it again.
Right.
And
Yeah, I know that feeling.
that's the way it works for me. And if you don't remember, if you don't listen, that's on you, fella. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I
And
get
I
that.
I have been to places where they sell lottery tickets, and I said, okay, I gotta go here. And my husband said, what? And I go, he said, do you have enough money? Yeah, I do. Just be quiet. I gotta go here. So I went there, and I scratched the number. Said, ooh, I won. And he goes, you're a kid. And I go, no.
My goodness, I love that. I love
And
that.
I
Now, are you
lined up. I
empathic
got
as
my cash, and I said, well, let's go home now.
are you empathic as well? Do you feel other people's feelings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
You-
I try not to, because sometimes I don't like seeing what I'm seeing.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Or the
Do you,
worst
Amanda?
part.
Do you feel other people's feelings?
I do. That's also why I don't like going out in public,
Hmm.
just
Okay.
because it becomes overwhelming.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't like going out either. I don't go out. My husband goes out.
Too peoply out there.
My kids and my
Yeah.
husband goes grocery shopping for me because I don't want to go out. If I go out, I start my eyes go like wandering all over the place. I can't focus on what I'm doing. When I finally go to the place where I'm supposed to go to and buy what I'm supposed to, I forget. And I said, "Yeah, this is no good. I
Yeah.
gotta go back home again," or I forget my
Oh.
wallet. Yeah, the worst parts I hate doing is when an ambulance goes by. I know what's in it already,
Oh, wow.
and I said,
Okay.
I said, nope, this person's not gonna make it. Oh, this person's got a heart attack. Oh, this person's got that. Oh, this person's
Oh,
got that.
wow.
My husband
You're
said,
really
my husband said, stop, won't you? He goes, you're grossing me out. I said, sorry.
can't help what I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Wow,
just
you're really
comes out.
gifted.
It just comes out. It just comes out.
That's huge amount of being an empath. Wow.
Yeah, it's no fun. Actually, I hate it. Sometimes I
Mhm.
said, I call it my curse.
Okay.
Yeah. How
That's
about do
not
you?
for
How do you?
everybody.
How do you feel about yours?
Um, I just figure it like this. I was supposed to be this way to help people. And, prior to the podcast or anything, I talk to anybody about,
Mhm.
the afterlife,
Mhm.
paranormal stuff, death,
Mhm.
all of it.
Mhm.
And I was amazed at how many people's opinions changed after just sitting down and talking to them
Mhm.
and, letting them know what my philosophy is when you pass over, versus maybe what they were brought up with, and
Mhm.
I tell them there's no right or wrong answer. There
Nope.
really isn't,
Nope.
and if I see something that
Mhm.
I feel you need to know,
Mhm.
I'm going to tell you, but I'm also going to tell you it's not ground in stone.
Nope.
Don't live your life by, I said you're going to do A, B, C, and you end up
Yeah.
doing GHI. I said,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because 5 minutes later, you could do something that completely changes your life's course.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
I thought that's
Exactly.
what I'd be doing for a living was, doing readings. But then I learned that people can easily change it. Like you said, I could tell you ABC, and then you go do
D
right.
E and F,
F,
Yeah.
and then it changes the outcome.
and
You're
then they
getting
get
mad at me
pissed,
because you're
and
like,
then
"Well,
they
this is
get
what happened.
pissed.
This is what you said." And a lot of people, when I was learning how to do readings, that's what also someone said is you also have to keep in mind that with readings, things can change, especially like the best example they can think of is think of I see a promotion in your future, and I
Mhm.
tell you this, and there's a job opening that you're like, yes, I'm gonna get it. I've been putting it between me and this person. Then that person, because you told them this, that person stops doing what they were doing. They start slacking because they're
Yeah.
like, I already got the job. I don't have to work as hard.
Mhm.
And
Right.
then obviously when they start doing that, their boss is gonna notice.
Mhm.
So then
Right.
they're like, "Well, it was gonna go to Tracy, but now it's gonna go to Irene because Tracy's now slacking and Irene's still working hard for it."
Mhm.
And then no, it
Exactly.
no longer goes to you. So you changed it.
Yeah. That's why I don't do readings at all.
Yeah.
'Cause they ask me, "What color underwear am I wearing? What am I thinking of?" I said, "How the hell should I know?"
The one that
And then when
drives
I
my
tell them,
family
go,
crazy is when I tell them what they're having. They said, "You want to know what you're having, a boy or a girl?" And I'll
"Yeah,
tell them, and yeah, you can say it's a,
yeah,
a good 50-50
yeah,
guess, but I've
yeah,
I've hit the last 4 or 5
yeah."
spot on.
Hmm.
So that drives them nuts. How do you know? I don't know. I
I
just
don't
do.
know. I just know. You
Yeah,
just
I
know,
don't
right?
know how I do the things I do, how I know the things I know. I just do, and I figured that
Yeah,
was my gift.
yeah. But really freaks them out is when you tell them, "Okay, you're wearing blue underwear." They go, "Are you looking? Do you have X-ray vision eyes?" I go, "No, I just know." And they go, Don't tell anybody. She told me. Okay,
Wow,
I
I
won't.
have to say that's a skill I don't really want to pick up. I don't want to see people's underwear.
No, I just know the color. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
just
still
know the
don't want to
color.
know.
I just know the color. And
Oh,
I said,
that's funny.
yeah. And I said, oh, you're wearing tidy whities. And he go, oh, stop it. Huh?
Wow. Mm-mm.
And, and,
You're
and,
too
and
funny.
yeah, not going there. Bye. The person just like they get all red to blue to orange. And yikes! I
You're a
just went
mess.
to a place where I shouldn't have gone. But it's kind of funny, you know.
Oh no, it's hysterical. I just don't want to have that ability. Mm-mm. I don't think
That's
you
what.
want it either, Amanda, would you?
No. It's
That's
also a
what.
skill that probably would not come in handy either.
It's not fun actually. It's kind of like. That's why I pretend I
That's
don't know
funny.
anything. You know, you have to
It's
pretend a
probably
lot.
best.
Yeah.
Don't want to go up to a stranger and say those underwear you got on, it's a little shabby. Maybe you should throw them out.
I've done that to a relative. Yeah, it didn't go. Shoot. My husband gets all red when he notices I said that. He goes, I go, well, it just flew out, okay? And
It's okay.
Amanda knows I don't have a filter, okay?
Oh, that's okay. I don't have a filter either.
Yeah,
I've been
mine's
told to
pretty
behave
bad.
myself.
Mine's pretty bad. Mine's pretty bad. Amanda will tell you mine's pretty bad.
I assume
What's
he
it?
can't really tell his family what you do either, though.
Yeah.
With it being such a taboo thing, Irene, I don't think he could tell his family how you know things.
Oh no, I stay away from that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no way you're able to just tell someone.
I told his brother, but his
Hey,
brother knows
Sean.
me pretty well. But yeah, I'm
Hmm.
not going to tell his parents. That's a bad one.
You
But
could
my
use that
friend,
for leverage. You say, we got to do this, that, and the other. I'm going to tell your family.
when it comes to money, yeah, I'm really good at that one.
Awesome.
You promised me, you remember? Yes, you did. My kid said, yes, you did. And my husband said,
Don't get
you,
yourself in trouble now.
if you're damned if you did, you damned if you didn't, right?
Hmm. You got it.
Oh, gosh. Did you ever find any parts what you were doing kind of like, oh, like, that's not cool? Or it was kind of not
Yeah.
frightening, but kind of like, yeah, not going to go there.
Geez, at least 30 years ago, maybe 40, a long time ago. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I would have the dead present themselves in a death state to me. And that can get pretty nasty. So
No,
I
I don't.
just, yeah, that's my one thing. It's like, I will talk to any of you. I will help you as best I can,
Mm-hmm.
but you cannot present like that. You have to present as a whole person or how you were before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that would be the only thing. I've never really been scared anywhere, but I was creeped out by some of the sights I was seeing. It was like that movie, The Sixth Sense, and
Yeah.
the little boy would see everybody all messed up and what. No,
Yeah.
I don't. No, I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
That's I know what you mean because I've actually said this before. Is that's actually how I start seeing people at first, especially if you died in an accident, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how I see you as. Like I've
Yeah.
seen a soldier. The one of the first ones I've seen was like a soldier who died in battle. Seen him wounded. But another one that
Mm-hmm.
got me was before I moved to Japan, back in North Carolina. I was driving, and luckily there was no one on this road because I ended up slamming my brakes because I saw a person They died in an accident, but they were smashed. So I saw a smashed up person on the side of the road,
Ooh.
and it was so. It was like they were so solid that I slammed on my brakes because I actually thought I saw someone solid. So I actually looked at them, like, okay, they're not
Mhm.
physically there anymore. But that's how I saw them. I'm like, yeah, this isn't. That was not fun.
No, try to do cold cases. I see murders. I see how they do it. I see what they were wearing, and I see the victim as they were dying. And that's, you gotta have a really
Oh,
good stomach for that one. You have to
I can
really have.
imagine.
Oh man! Like, I was helping my friend do a cold case, and she was sitting at the
Mhm.
scene from me. I said, "Okay, I got it. I'm right there now." And then I said, "Oh dear!" I went like this, and she goes, "What?" I said, "This." She goes, "You see that?" I go, "Yep." And they go, "Okay, yeah, I think you better sit down because you're not going to be able to handle this one."
Wow.
Yeah. And she got really grossed out, and I said, "Well, you should see how I'm seeing it, right?" It's worse on this side of the story, this side of the
Oh,
fence.
wow.
No, it's not fun. It's not fun. I,
Oh,
I
no,
I
I
will
know.
I will do a cold case if I have to, but I choose not to.
Well, you have to
It's,
protect yourself too.
yeah,
That takes a lot of energy doing all that.
yeah.
So,
By then I'm saying, okay, I'm done. Can you make
yeah.
dinner for me, kids? Because I'm done. I'm just drained.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of hard work, doing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Even just regular seeing things can just automatically go.
Yeah. You can easily get drained.
Yeah, and by 5 cups of coffee, I said, I'm still not normal. I'm
None
still
of us are normal.
nope.
Most probably.
I can't get my head back into gear again. I'm just gonna lay down.
What is the worst encounter with a spirit you have had?
For me, I'm going to say it was a low level demon at
Mm,
these people's house. Um, it was just, we were up in the attic, and I remember looking over at the wall, and it was all red, like bright red, even though there were no lights on up there. I didn't realize that at the time. And I found out later on that that's, if you see red everywhere, that's symbolic of a
mm,
negative, very, very, very negative presence being around. And I saw a face come at me really quick when I was saying a prayer.
mhm,
And it was the most grotesque thing I had ever seen in my life. And then
mhm,
I saw there was some sawdust on the ground, and I could see like hoof prints. I'm not saying it was
mhm,
Satan, but it was something icky. I saw
mhm,
hoof prints walking, and it was just, I said, this is above my pay grade. You need a priest, you need something. But I
yeah,
can show you how to try to calm your house.
mhm,
That's next level.
yeah.
So
That's beyond my pay grade.
I don't mess with them. Mm-mm.
No, it's like half goat. It's like a goat prints, or almost like
Hmm.
goat hoof prints, or something really. And it's stinky, winky, winky too. And
Like
it's just,
sulfur.
yeah, it's just
Smell those rotten
ooh,
eggs.
yeah, yeah. It's just really not cool. I've done a house like that too.
Mhm.
Thank God I got rid of it, right? But yeah, don't want to do that again. You gotta pay me more to do that. Even though I don't get paid, you gotta pay me more.
Give me another cup of coffee.
Yeah. Oh no. You ever give me a box of chocolates or something? Like, they better
There
be
you
good
go.
one.
Yeah. And just
Dang.
recently, we have this haunted attraction down in
Mm-hmm.
Laurel, Maryland, called Laurel's House of Horrors, and it's a renovated movie theater. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been there a couple of times, and it's insanely active. And my
Wow.
husband goes down with me. He's cameraman Bob on Channel 12 TV network, and he was filming me, and he had never really seen me channel before, not to
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
this length. and I was channeling a serial killer. And I can't repeat the things that I was saying because I was told
Mm-mm.
behave myself.
Mm.
So, but it was frightening. It was, for them. For
Mhm.
me, it's like sitting back and watching a movie, and then
Yeah.
after a while, I can push whatever it is out. But
Mm.
it made for an interesting evening.
Mm. You notice when you have to do something, you notice you're not you. It's like you're having an outer body
Yes.
experience, and you're like you're so in tune with it, like
Mhm.
nothing else matters, and you're just
Yep.
yeah,
It's yeah, like tunnel vision. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah,
I know exactly what you mean.
yeah. And everyone's saying, "Hey!" One time I told my husband, "Shut up," and I
Oh,
went, "Yeah," because he don't know nothing, right? He's about as dense as a 2x4.
oh
But when it
dear.
comes to me, when doing something, he runs. I think he gets
Gotcha.
scared. Yeah, but yeah. But in the end, I start laughing. He goes, "Why?" I said, "Cause you're funny." He goes, "You're not. You're scary." And I go,
Oh,
"Ah, yeah, well, what the heck?" Are your children the same way?
I have a son. He is empathic. When he's around me, he can see things in his mind's eye. Like if I
Mm-hmm.
were to look around and I saw my late mother here, I wouldn't say anything to him. He says, "Hey, grandmom's here, isn't she?" But when we're not
Yeah.
it's like I help amp him up a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and he doesn't want to take his any farther, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You do
Mm-hmm.
you. But I explained to him years ago, I said, you're empathic. And it
Mm-hmm.
blew his mind because he said, I thought there was something wrong with me. I never wanted to tell you that I was
Yeah.
always feeling like everything all the time. And I said, I wish you had
Mm-hmm.
said something. I would have told you. So
Yeah.
he got the empathic part and he has some clairvoyance. So,
Mm. It's really hard as a child because my
yeah.
child was the same way. When he was 13 years old, he started seeing things and he didn't like it whatsoever. Now he's 29 years old and he doesn't want to have anything to do with it anymore. My youngest son, he's also the same way, but it doesn't bother him. My daughter, she said, "No, no, 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 no."
Well, it's 'cause it's not accepted in Japan, so it's not like they could really do anything with it here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
They just
yeah.
when you're kids, I think it's really hard, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah. Yeah.
you know they look at you a little bit differently, even though you look the same. You just, I don't know. I think they see you as a different person because you look to them. You look different
Yeah.
than everybody else. If you know what I mean. Like everyone
Yeah.
else is like this, and you're like, like a little bit like this, and go, yeah, you're not built the same way like this. And neither was I. Neither was I. Neither was I. I was just like,
I get it.
I was out there
Yeah.
too.
I've
When I
always been
was,
my own little island
yeah,
for as
yeah.
long as I can remember,
You're
you
in your
know.
own little world. You're going,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
They say our
Absolutely.
aura, if you're
yeah,
gifted, your aura shines
yeah,
brighter, and that's what attracts the spirit to you because
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like a moth and flame kind of thing. If your aura is brighter than the other people's,
yeah,
they're gonna be like, "Who is that?"
yeah,
Right. Right. Yeah, a moth to a flame.
yeah.
And
Everyone told me,
I also notice when say I have fibromyalgia and migraines and a couple of other silly things, and when I'm having maybe a not so great day,
mm-hmm,
my son will come over if he's home. He'll come over and I'll say, I know you're not feeling well, but can you please get them out of my bedroom because your friends are visiting again.
yeah. Oh, I could feel your headaches. Yeah,
I always have a headache. I'm a migrainer from way back.
Oh,
me too.
I feel the
I
same way.
Yeah, I got migraines too. My kids got migraines too. Isn't that weird?
I feel like
It
I
is.
live off of migraine medicine.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I have to see
You have the ringing
a
in your ears
neurologist.
too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it comes right back here, and it just goes, and then your head goes like somebody's
Oh
playing
yeah.
the drums on your head like this, and you're
Yeah.
like, Yeah, I get the same thing. Like all my kids have the same thing. And me too. I'm just going,
Yeah,
ooh.
unfortunately, my son inherited the migraines. I got them from my father.
Mm,
And the ringing and all that. I've heard spiritually means your spirit guides are working with you
yeah.
and
Yeah.
talking to you. So every now and then I have to tell them, "Will you just shush? Just leave. Not today. Can
Yeah.
we have one day where we're
Yeah.
not doing this because I
Yeah.
want to sleep tonight. I don't need any more lessons today.
No.
Old girl is tired.
Yeah.
Want to go to bed."
Yeah. I used to close my doors like this. That's how I close
Hmm.
my doors. And I used to say, okay, that's enough.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Because I don't know what it is about us. We get headaches like you wouldn't believe, right? And
Oh yeah.
Amanda, when she messaged me one time, she said, my head's thumping. I can't handle this. Oh my God. Like she's doing this. And I said, oh, yeah, you're feeling it, right? And she goes, yeah, it's just killing me, right? Yeah, like it's something to do with this field that we're in, or the things that we can do, or the things that we can see gives us the most worst headaches. And
Yeah. Chocolate helps. Anything with caffeine,
Yeah.
it helps kill the headache. But then you're awake. So it's like you got to pick which one is the lesser of
Yeah, that's
two.
what I feel like at night. I'm like, do I do something about the headache or do I try and sleep?
Mhm.
Exactly.
I hate the
Exactly.
fact that I have to like it's like pick one.
Worse, you can't sleep, right? And you're up after that, you da, hurry up, hit medicine, put me to sleep. And you go 4 o'clock,
Yeah.
nope. 5 o'clock in the morning, nope. 6 o'clock in the morning, nope. You're still awake.
Oh, I went through several years where I had bad insomnia.
Yeah,
Oh, it was awful.
yeah,
So, and then it just stopped one day. I don't
yeah.
know why. I haven't, nothing really changed. So I'm not
Amanda,
complaining. Don't,
no,
I'm not
no.
complaining.
Amanda and I, we said, shit, we can't sleep. Let's do a friggin' podcast. We did it at 2 o'clock in the friggin' morning because we couldn't sleep. He said, damn.
It was with
It
one of
was,
her friends in the UK, and he was like, "Are you sure it's okay?" I'm like, "We're both awake,
yeah.
Yeah.
so we're like we're both awake, and we know we're not gonna go to sleep anytime soon. So we're like, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
Let's
let's do
try
the
a
damn
Yeah.
different
thing.
time."
Right. It was so funny. It lasted till 6 o'clock, right? We went to bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, he had like two. So he's on the show with three different hosts. So we
Yeah.
had him, and he was able to get another co-host to join, and he got off. And then another
Mhm.
one of the co-hosts got on right after before that one got off. So it's kind of so we had like three different people. So yeah, that lasted. That's why
It
it
was like
lasted so long.
musical podcast.
Yeah, musical podcast. I'm like, I don't know the title of this because it's someone new every hour.
That's cool. I like that though. That's good.
It was kind of funny because we were giggling right through the whole damn thing. Like, none of it was on schedule, or none of it was like, we never have a subject, right? We just like, well, whatever.
That's yeah.
That's
These are
it.
the
Usually
best conversations.
people ask me before we go live, like, well, what are you going to talk about? I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I do the
We'll
same
figure it out
thing.
then.
I do the same thing. You know.
I'm like, we don't plan that. There's
Yeah,
only one podcast that the person it didn't work out for the person, but we're not sad because
yeah.
the person wanted pre-approved questions beforehand, and I'm like, we've never done that because you're gonna with something you answer, we're gonna have a different question, and it's probably not
Right.
gonna be in that list. I mean, your explanations could lead to other questions, and I'm like, are we allowed to ask them? What if someone comments and they have a question? Are they allowed
Hmm.
to ask? Or you're like, I'm sorry, I didn't pre-approve your question ahead of time. I'm like, how does that work? I'm like, look, I will give you like maybe five pre-approved,
Hmm.
maybe, but then it's gonna that's basically it because we just go from there.
And
Right.
then my question, sometimes people find it very difficult to answer. So I always go, and he said, whoops. I go, okay. So yeah, but it's like that. This is a podcast. This is what our podcast is. That's why we're so different, right? We do
Yeah,
things.
no, I love this. This is fun. It's just the three ladies talking.
We just talk about all different kinds of crazy stuff. And you know what? that's what makes it more interesting, and that's what makes it more appealing. Like you want to learn, or you want to know, or there's something that you don't know. You could ask questions, and we'll be happy to help you as much as we can to answer it. But sometimes there's sometimes reason. I don't know, like, and we don't.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
You can't know everything.
Mm.
That's why I always hated the term expert because you're never an expert. You're
Oh
always
no,
learning.
I hate
no,
it
You
when I
know,
see
it's somebody's out,
people
I'm
put
an
that.
expert in this, that, or the. No, you're not. Stop it.
no,
I
no.
hate it when people put that as their title. Expert
You're
in
about as
paranormal. I'm like,
expert as my
oh,
back, my bottom of my feet are. Like,
yeah.
see, I told you I got no filter.
A mess.
I'm
One of
just
the worst
terrible.
experience I've had with a spirit, Irene knows because she had to help me, was
Yeah.
I moved here to Japan and I had, at the time, he passed, I had I don't want to call him ex-boyfriend. We casually dated for 3 or 4 months,
A
but I was the
friend,
last.
acquaintance.
We're casually dating for 3 or 4 months before he mysteriously passed away. I think it was from something with the brain because he, out of nowhere, he was healthy, but he was just faint. He would go unconscious and just faint and black out
Oh,
Hmm.
for a while. Like the first time it happened, he was walking to his mailbox and his neighbor found him kind of laying on the ground. He's like, I don't know what happened. He had appointments, but I don't think the doctors got to him in time to find out what happened. And I just because I
oh,
found out later that he passed away.
Hmm.
how sad.
But he visited me here, and it's one of those things where he was upset that he never got to, you know, get married or have the whole family thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So with
He
me being
said,
the last person he
yeah.
dated, he started
Yeah.
visiting me. And he might have been trying to before, but the house I lived in had a spirit of a elder of had a spirit of the someone who of the lady who first lived there, who first
Hmm.
built the house,
Hmm.
where she was a grandma. But we kind of had this unspoken thing where she knew she was dead, but that was her home. That's where she was happy at. That's where she raised her children. She saw her grandchildren. So she was like, spiritually, this is my house. Physically, I know it's yours. We'll stay away from each other. That's cool. We just kind of stayed up. We never bothered each other. But she would keep any spirit out of the house. Like, you had to have her permission. Like, no spirit walked in there because other psychics, when I told them about her, would be like, yeah, I put my energy in there to talk to her to see who you're talking about. And
Hmm.
she told me, and she's like, they're like, are you sure she's friendly? Because she was like, why are you here? And I'm like, because you did not ask permission. You entered her house. And
Yeah.
she's like,
Right.
energy wise, she's like, yeah, you don't have permission to be here. Get out. Think
Hmm.
of the old, she was literally like, if think of the old southern country old lady. That was her. The tough ones that would chase you out of the frying pan. That was her. So
Yeah.
spiritually, he got in that house without permission. I loved her because I knew after investigation that I could feel things following me. I would run into the house and she wouldn't let them follow. I was like, no, this is you don't go in this house. So I knew in the house I was safe.
Right.
Outside the house, different. Inside the house, safe. But so she might have chased him off, saying, "Yeah, I don't need you in here." But he visited me here. He kept visiting more and more, and I'd feel his energy. I'd feel his energy building up each time. Like he wasn't using it; he was just building up. And I was just trying to be like, "Yo, is there anything else I can help you with? I can't help you with the marriage, family. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sorry you didn't get to experience that in your life. Anything
Right.
else I can help you with? Nothing." And I've had several conversations with them trying to be like,
Yeah.
"Yo, seriously, 4.5 years." I'm like, you have to be lonely. Please just move on. I don't want you lonely. Please just move on. He wanted. And then one day, he came and visited me, and the amount of energy he had was so strong.
Hmm.
Something about it set alarms, and I nearly had a panic attack. So I called Irene, and I'm like, do you fucking see this in my room? Yeah, I see him. And I'm like, so, something is going to happen. know it.
Yeah.
He's not crossing over.
Mm.
I don't I don't know what else to do. She had to force him to leave. She had to force him to cross over, and I'm like, I can't.
Because he wanted to spend eternity with her. He said, I want her kids.
Hey, Scott. That's my buddy.
And I said, no, you can't. She's taken. And he said, and he started swearing and cussing at me. I said, yeah, that ain't going to work with me either. So I
Right.
had to get rid of him. So I said, either I cross you over or I kick you up. Pick your choice. You won't like the latter of the two,
Right.
but I could make your life a little bit better, and so that you can be in heaven. If I kick
Right.
you up, you're gone. You're just. And he said, okay. So I forcibly crossed him over. And I said, Amanda, you're lucky. She goes, why? I said, yeah, you don't want to know what he wanted. And then afterwards, I sat her down. I told her what he wanted. She goes, no. And I go, yeah. And he
I
goes,
knew something was he wanted to kill me. So I
yeah,
knew something.
he wanted her. He wanted to take her.
Oh, so she would be with him over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or she, or she said, I want her. I want her kids. So she's going to be mine. And that's it.
Wow.
Yeah. And I
Wow.
heard that. I don't necessarily have to hear it. I just feel it, what he's going to do. I know what he's going to do. And I
Oh, I
know
could
he was,
feel it. And for
yeah,
some reason, I could feel it, and it gave me
yeah.
such a panic attack. And I'm like, I can't.
And she freaked out. She freaked out like real bad. And
Okay.
yeah. And you know, you're saying, okay, Amanda, calm down, calm down. The more you freak out, the more you're gonna give him power. So just
Yeah.
settle down. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about him. Don't even worry about him. Let me do it. So yeah, I had to calm her down because the more she freaked out, the more energy he felt, and the more power he could get over her. Right.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, and plus her
Yeah.
place is where she lives now is like, yeah, it's like a swinging door of all spirits, right? So it's not just him, it's like everything else is around her place, and they're going in and out, in and out, in and out, like it's like the old saloon door. It's going in and out,
Oh,
right?
wow.
Yeah,
That's got to be
it's
exhausting.
it's like that with her place now. So yeah, I mean, you have to really watch your energy, and you have to really watch out, that make sure you don't feel so drained, and you don't make yourself drained, or you don't think about them, because the saloon door is gonna go come here,
Yeah.
come there, like that, right? I
Yeah.
got you, I got you, I got you. Like they're gonna be doing that to her. So I said, yeah, just don't acknowledge it. Just pretend you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do. Go outside, go for a walk. Just ignore them as much as possible as you can, because they're gonna be. Now you can see me. Now you're mine, right? That's
Yeah. Definitely.
that's that's, and it's worse in Japan because they're a little bit different. Amanda will tell you, spirits are can be more possessive. They can be more daunting. Like they don't give a rat's
Blinkety
ass.
blank.
Yeah, bleep bleep bleep, right? They don't care. Okay, you can be protective to the hill with all your stupid dumb crystals and stuff like that, and they'll say, that don't bother me. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do, and I'm gonna come after you if you like it or not, right? That's how bad it is sometimes, and that's why you have to say, okay, gonna go over this side, you can go that side. I'm gonna walk here this way, you can walk that way. Bye.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like that.
That's frightening.
Where she is more like the really sad, um, very how would you call it? Some died before their time, so they were killed in different ways. And on my side, I got the suicide guys, right? I got the unalived ones, right? The unalived ones are like, okay, yeah, bye, like that. That's how I do with mine. Hers like, you can see me, right? So now what are you gonna do? Yeah, I'm gonna walk
Right.
that way. Okay, bye. That's how
Yeah, it's
she.
hard
Yeah,
here is one thing I had to get used to here is shadow figures In the States, they might be in and out, or you just happen to catch her on, in a photo. Here, they will
Yeah.
stand and stare at you. Now,
Yeah.
just because they're standing and staring at you does not mean they want to talk to you. It means
No.
see on the other side of the road and don't
Yeah.
talk to me because they don't like
Yeah.
people either.
Yeah.
They don't. They even said they're like you people. That's them. They don't want to deal with people. They just don't. And it's just the only reason why you can see them and they're staring at you to be like stay on the other side. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And they have briefly visited me in my apartment. In and out,
Yeah.
kind of remember I can enter your home if you cross my boundaries. And I'm like, I wasn't going to. You don't want me to talk to you, I'm not. Don't
Yeah.
want me to take your photo, I won't. It's
Yeah.
just like I don't need it posted and other mediums or clairvoyants trying to talk to me. I just don't want to talk to people. And I'm like, nah, I get that. It's
Yeah.
people. They just
It,
don't. It's not that they really have a tie to anywhere in the land. I don't know why they'll pick certain
mm-hmm.
little areas. Like, this is my little area. They just kind of like picked it. Like, yep, this is it. Wait.
Yeah. And they can get really cheeky too.
I can imagine.
So yeah, they can be possessive and cheeky. Huh?
How long have you been a white witch?
I would say I was born into it because when I was a little girl, and I'm talking 4, 5, 6, my favorite thing in the world would be to put on my poncho backwards like a cape and go out and
Mm.
summon a storm. It took my mother everything and then some to drag me back in, but I just thought it was the best and coolest thing ever. So I've always found that it's always been a part of me. As opposed to black magic, I was tested when I was a teenager. Most of us
Mm.
are. It was 3 days. Three is always, I'm sure, very, very important number in everything. 3 days of hearing in my mind a male's voice going, pray to me. And it was driving me nuts. And I'm
Mm.
thinking, I already see things and I hear things, but this, I didn't like this.
Mm.
I don't know if it was guardian angels protecting me, but at the end of the third day, I just said, shut up. I'm never going to pray to you. I will
Mhm.
only pray to God, and that's it. You're done.
Mhm.
And I've
Mm.
never heard it since, but I've also known that I'm not going to get hurt. So if
No.
I had accepted and prayed to whomever or whatever that was, I might have gone down the black magic road. I don't know. It was not meant for me to do that.
Mm-mm.
Do I do
You.
readings and palm readings? No. No. I
No.
mean, something pops up and I tell you about it, then we
Mm.
do that,
Yeah.
But as far as like a business or anything, no, that I don't.
Mm-mm.
A mystic. I don't know.
Aren't we all a little
Depends on
bit
your
mystic? Aren't we all a little bit mystic in a way?
perhaps. I don't know. Let me be mysterious about it.
I think we are a little bit mystic in a way. I think all of us are a little bit mystic in a way. We have our quirks. We have our clairvoyant parts. We see things, but yeah, I think to others who don't know, we can be a little bit mystic.
Oh yeah. Yeah. People fear what they don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
you know. And certainly Hollywood hasn't helped at all, you
Ah,
know. I mean, even from the first Green Witch, Margaret Hamilton, rest her soul.
yeah.
Um, that was the first time, and now that's all you see. And I've dressed up as a Green Witch before. It takes a
Mm,
lot of work. That woman had to do that every day for hours on
mm,
end. I'm
mm,
hats off to her.
yeah.
No,
It's yeah. Even remember Bewitched, the
yeah,
old movie.
yeah,
That
with
was
the
one of my
voodoo
favorites.
thing.
That was one of my favorites. That was one of my favorite movies. I was like watching that.
Yeah,
um, but I think Hollywood has made it really bad. Gave
yeah.
us a really bad rep, especially for clairvoyance and
Mhm.
yeah. I
You know
said,
what drives me crazy is going down a road and seeing a psychic palm reader sign out of somebody's door. That drives me nuts because
yeah,
99.9999% of the time, that's going to be nothing but bupkis.
yeah.
So,
Do you have a brother? No. Do you have a sister? No. Is he 35 years old? No. Like,
I know
you
you're
know,
talking about Sabrina the Teenage Witch because they made it into
oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
show.
Yeah,
I'm
I
assuming that's
remember
what
that.
you're talking about.
yeah. And Salem was the kitty cat who was a witch, but he did naughty things, so they turned him into a cat.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
kept on.
that was funny.
Yeah, that was good too. uh, yeah. There was a lot of weird shows. The ones that I can't stand is like milking people for money for reading.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, why would you want to do that? Or like Facebook has it too, right? They have these shows where they're gonna do readings for people, right? They'll do short reading, right? And then if you want a card, you have to pay $10 or something like that.
yeah. No, I don't do that.
No, I
I
mean,
couldn't take money for that. That just
no,
goes against me.
no, yeah. And then some of the times when I watch the show, and I said, "Hi, give me a reading." And they jump over my name. I go, "Shit, what the hell is the difference between me? Why can't, what's the matter with me? Right? You can't read me? There's something freaky about this person, right?"
I was there in the 70s. I don't remember that particular one. Cartoon series, spinoff of the Archie. I mean, I remember the Archies, but
Yeah, me too. I remember the Archies.
yeah, I was born in 65, so I should know this, but I don't.
Yeah, I was
Oh
reading
well.
how Melissa Joan Hart, who played Sabrina the Teenage Witch, she did not
Yeah.
actually have to audition for the role. They
Mm.
never auditioned anyone for Sabrina. She was casted because her mom, Paula Hart, was the executive producer, so she just kind of put her in the role.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay.
Good to know people.
Yeah, I'm like, that must
Fortunately,
be nice.
yeah, I mean, fortunately, she was a good actress, or is a good actress, I should say.
Yeah. She did a pretty good job on that show. Oh shoot,
Mhm.
I'm in trouble.
Are you drinking?
No, my phone's heating up because we're talking about certain subjects and it doesn't like it. So I gotta go get some ice. I'll be right back. Go ahead and talk.
Okay. Her phone heats up?
Yeah, it
What
heats up
happens?
when I talk about certain subjects and it doesn't like it, so it heats up.
Oh, wow. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, her phone either overheats or they boot her from the podcast, so she'll be in and out of the podcast.
Is it Spirit doing that, or that
Yeah, it's
keeps?
usually Spirit because she has some
Okay.
portals in her
Yeah.
house
Okay.
Anytime I
often.
talk paranormal or really get into it, it either heats up or I get kicked out. Or both. I get kicked up and it heats up at the same time. And I'm so used to it. That's why you can never see me wearing wristwatch. I can't wear one.
Oh, yeah, I bet you messed that up pretty good, don't you?
Yeah. I had to get batteries uh every 2 weeks. And
Holy cow, lady.
I know it's terrible, right? That's why I can't wear a wristwatch. I can't even do that. I said, I got a whole bunch of beautiful wristwatches in my drawer. I just can't wear them.
Well, you could, but they won't tell time,
Nah,
except for twice a day.
this battery goes and they go, oh shit. That's nothing new. Um,
No guys
d-
who wore watches that didn't actually work, and I'm like, what? What's the point of this? To let people know you once had an expensive watch?
I don't know.
I don't know why. It just, it just started that way. Ever since then, it doesn't work. I said, okay, I'm done. That's why I always keep my phone instead. I use my phone, my watch, and my phone because I
Mhm.
can't. I'm done. I was
Wow.
thinking to
Do
get
light
one of
bulbs
those
pop? Yeah. Do light
iWatches.
bulbs in your house pop a lot? Do you affect that kind of, get that sort of energy going on?
Not
Like, do they burn
really,
out?
but
Okay.
uh, they won't turn on for me either.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
the living room lights won't go on. I keep on tapping it, and my son says, "There you go, it's on." I go, I'm always doing the bleep, bleep, bleep all the time. Yeah. Question.
Um, I am a part of Channel 12 TV network.
Mm-hmm.
There was a podcast I was doing called Paranormal White Witch. It's now incorporated into the TV network.
Mm-hmm.
Till the end of the year, it's $4.99. You go on Google, download Channel 12 TV network, and we have about 8 or 9 different shows. We also have a lot of the old black and white shows that are
Mm-hmm.
going to movies that are going to be on, and the old sitcoms, and they've all been colorized, digitized, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as mine goes, I've had everybody on from a demonologist to a lady who writes books to, I mean, just anything and everything, and if it happens to be about paranormal, that's great. And at the end
Mm-hmm.
of my shows, I generally give a little did you know, like, do you know why? The first one I did was, did you know why witches always are depicted with pointy hats and with the
Mm-hmm.
cauldron and the cats? So I
Mm-hmm.
explained that, and
Mm-hmm.
it kind of took off, and people seem to like it. So now at the end of each show, I come up with some little tidbit to tell them.
I'm gonna. Have you ever had a guest that you you would think, this person, right? I'll have them, but
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, the energy's kind of like, mm,
yeah. Twice,
oh
twice now.
gosh, oh
Once it
gosh.
was a person who, which is a chatty Cathy all day long, except when they
Mm-hmm.
got on the podcast. I don't think their nerves got to them, but it was like pulling teeth trying to get them to answer something with more than a uh-huh, uh-uh answer.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another time I had an exorcist on, and I thought it'd be an interesting talk. But my producer called me afterwards, and he's like, "Are you okay? Because you seem spaced out. You weren't you tonight." I said, "I could not focus. Every time I looked at him, the whole screen would just start doing this." And he looked. When I see people and they look dirty, but they're not dirty, I know that
Mm-hmm.
they're negative. They have something very negative about them. So, those 2 times, yeah.
I wouldn't know even how to conduct a podcast with, but mind you, we had somebody that I really didn't like. Remember, Amanda? And I said, it was really hard because ugh, ugh. I was trying to I was trying to, okay, calm down, Rain. Yeah, we're gonna do this, right? We're gonna get through this. Like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this.
Yeah,
And
you
some,
two seem to be like me. I don't have a poker face.
no, no,
If somebody's
no,
bugging me,
no,
irritating me, it's right there.
yeah,
I can definitely
So
see it with you, Irene.
I
yeah.
know who she's talking about because this person's done several podcasts, so I assume they at least be halfway decent. But in 5 minutes, I asked over usually an hour's worth of questions because they just gave me like one word answers. So eventually, to get more out, and like, yeah, do you want to explain that more, or do you want to elaborate on that a little bit more? Still a one word answer, and I'm just like, so at 5 minutes, I'm like, I don't know where to go from here. So
Yeah,
then I tried pulling out any question I could think of, and it felt so long.
Mm.
But as,
yeah.
but it was minute 7 to the podcast. You could see on my face. What do I do
What
next?
did I
Because
do?
I'm
And
like,
who is this person?
I've already asked over 100 questions, and they only gave me one word answer. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. So me and Irene just basically turned it into a me and her show. Because she went through by minute 7. She's already had 2
2 cups of
sodas and
coffee.
3 cups of coffee to try and get through it herself. So then
Oh
I'm
my
like, I don't.
goodness.
So then at minute 7, literally, like you could see that look in my face, and I was like, what do
And
I do
2 bottles of soda
now?
I went
And
through.
I see Irene still chugging down soda number 2, and I'm like, so then me and her just started talking. Like, yeah, let's just talk about
Mhm.
paranormal Japan because we didn't know what else to do, and she eventually this person was occasionally react like wow,
Yeah.
and that's it. I'm just like
Oh,
'cause I wouldn't
No,
know
that's
what else
awful.
to do. 'Cause I was like,
Yes.
"Well."
I was on a podcast once, and I won't say who. Person's a lovely person, I'm sure,
Mhm. Mhm.
but had the energy of a piece of paper. Okay. And I can be a little much. I know that.
Mhm.
And it was shuffle the papers, shuffle here. I wrote a question down, and you see the papers flying through the screen. And I said, What am I doing here? Why? Why did I agree to this?
Yeah. I We had one more person. I kind of like didn't like him at all. He kind of like says, well, he does programs, he does his paranormal investigations on whatever, and you can see it and blah blah blah. And I said, yeah, okay, I didn't like his energy at all. I said, well, you know what, you got a grandma with you, and he goes, like that, as if he didn't believe me. I go, okay, this guy's damned.
Wow.
Yeah, I said, the worst
Yeah.
thing I can't stand is people laughing at me when I tell them, "Oh, you got this with you, right?" And they go, "Ha ha 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 ha," as if it's a frigging joke. Like, oh, shush. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about anything. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you. Forget it. Like, yeah, I'm not doing that. When you're doing this, and go, okay, I can see. Ooh, okay, and you can't help it, right? But you have to tell them that. Yeah. It's
Cool.
just like if you
Well,
don't want to take me seriously, scroll down. Don't watch the friggin' show, okay?
oh, wow. Oh, my
Yeah,
goodness.
That's one
yeah.
thing I say though to people who are just like, "I don't like the guests you have," and they get offended with us, like, "How can you have this person?" I'm like, "Our show has nothing to do with you or any drama or feelings you may have towards the person. If you don't like the person, you can scroll on, okay? Just
Yeah.
scroll,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
okay?"
Just, just, just move on.
Yeah. I
Just
mean,
move.
I'm open for anybody to
Yeah,
come on the show
That's
with
how we
me,
feel
as I'm
too.
sure you
Like
ladies are, you
yeah,
like
know?
we're not
And
part of
then,
drama, so
yeah.
yeah.
It's because this field is small as it is. People think it's a
Yes.
big field, but it isn't. It's a very small field, and it's a very when it comes to our side, not the investigating side, but our side, it's even
Mhm.
smaller.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I make sure I have a whole bunch of friends on this side who I can consult with, and I just want a recognition to say, is this right? A confirmation. That's all I want. And if you can, please help me so I can channel in a little bit more. And if there's something that you can see, can you show me what's blocking my vision and help me look at what I'm seeing so it can put two and two together for me, because everything's not like this. It's like this, like it's like, and it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You got to put it all together and make it look right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't look right. And I was like, like this. But yeah, it's the most difficult thing to put together because not all of it comes out like black and white. It's like green, purple, gray, and everything else, and all the colors all put together, right? And you have to, like, sometimes it'll take me 3 days to figure out what the hell was that. Yeah, it's not all easy.
I can't say that there's one in particular book. What I found, I get so much information from are the various groups on
Mhm.
Facebook,
Mhm.
because they'll generally have a files section, and you can go
Mhm.
through and read. I mean, whether it's history,
Mhm.
it's Wiccan, it's witches, it's, druids, it's whatever,
Mhm.
join some groups
Mhm.
that you just feel like that looks like it would be fun. You can always unjoin,
Yeah.
and start going through their, I guess, their electronic library, if you will.
Mhm.
But as far as a hardbound, not really. No, I have always just um, sought out information through the internet. you know.
Even talking to different
Yes,
people in that particular field, you learn a heck of a lot more than you do
yes.
on a piece of paper.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they'll teach you a little bit different things about what their experiences and stuff that happened to them, maybe that you could learn, and more interesting parts of it and different parts of it. Plus it's always something. There's always good and bad. There's always good and bad. There's always
sure,
scary and always
sure.
nothing's always the positive part. You
Right.
that's why you
Oh,
have
yeah.
good and
Yeah,
evil
balance. Yeah,
as a, together. So yeah, they will teach you different things that you might not want to hear, but it's all part of learning, right? And and
absolutely.
talking to different people who are maybe witches, warlocks, it doesn't matter. Like, just asking questions too helps too, right? Because you never find that out of a book.
Right. Yeah, I always tell people to keep a journal too. If
Yeah.
you see something or you feel something of
Mm.
whatever, just put it down in a book. You never
Yeah.
know what it's going to help you with later on,
Yeah.
you know.
And you could ask
Like,
questions about what you saw, and maybe
yeah,
they could put it into more better perspective for you, and you learn, right? We're always
right.
learning. Yeah, we're always learning.
Absolutely every day. It's
You
always
know,
something new.
yeah. And no matter how scary it is,
You're
you
right,
learn.
Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
matter how scary it is. I think in the beginning, I was scared in the beginning because I didn't know, I couldn't see. But
Hmm.
as I got into it more, it becomes less frightening,
Hmm.
and you can handle it, you can deal with it, and you learn a lot more. Like, I don't know. I used to be scared to die, okay? Because I was
Okay.
really sick at one time, and dying
Hmm.
was very frightening. But since I got to learn about myself and to learn about what we do here, I find it less frightening, and it's you can understand better, and it's just a process of going to another dimension, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I think it helps you mentally too, and
Hmm.
physically. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Decorate your house with Yuletide decorations. My husband is 1,000,000,000% Christmas guy. Now, year round, I mean, we have to inform NASA when he puts the lights on the tree and front yard because it's insane and I love every minute of it and it gives him such joy and whatnot. And I'm going to make her pee her pants. Uh, during the course of the year, I have symbology up around the house. I have my broom and I
Yeah.
have different signs, different pictures, different gods and goddesses on the wall, whatever. I mean, it's not weird looking or anything,
No,
but
no.
I don't express myself just then. It's all year long. I
Yeah.
have my altar, of course, but
Yeah.
do I do anything specifically for Yuletide? Not really, because
Yeah.
the mistletoe is going to be there, and that's
Yeah.
part of it, and
Yeah.
all the other stuff.
I can just see your husband
I like to let him have
putting
a
up
good
the
time.
decorations. I just see him putting up the decorations. I'm sorry. I can just see him. I just saw him putting up. That's why I was laughing my guts out. I visioned that. It's so hilarious, right?
Too funny.
You could probably see him on the space station.
You can. That's why we have to inform NASA before. And he puts we have a 6 foot tree, I'd say, and there's about 3,000 lights on it already, and we're not done. Yeah, there's not a sprig or a twig that doesn't have something illuminated on it, and it looks beautiful. I gotta give
we're
him credit where credit's due. It looks beautiful.
we're here. We're here. You find that lady says, "Oh, that lady witch. Oh yeah, she lives over there. See, you can tell the lights on her."
Yeah, so if you hear about, some light show in Maryland, it's just me and my husband.
Have you ever watched? That reminds me of the episode on. Have you ever watched Home Improvement, the TV show?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where it was they were flying in one December from somewhere, and the pilot said, "Folks are gonna have to turn around and go to whatever airport because this airport I guess they have a power outage. Something. This airport's too dark, and then Tim Allen lights up the tree or lights up his outside of his house with all his lights, and you can just see it illuminate the whole entire sky. And the pilot's like, "Oh, never mind, we're good." And he's
Oh my God.
able to.
just just so you can be a beacon for the air traffic controllers.
Yeah, they don't need those little wands anymore. You hang them right at that house with the big beam coming out of it.
We'll be serving hot chocolates with candy canes on the side.
Tracey Lynn, it's such an interesting story with mistletoe legend.
Mm,
Can you tell it? Well, sure. The mistletoe in itself is a sign of peace and love.
mm,
It goes with the goddess Fig, who lost her son. The god Boldar to an arrow made of mistletoe. So it
mm.
pierced him through his heart and broke his mother's heart.
Oh.
After her death, she vowed that mistletoe would kiss anyone who passed beneath, as it was like never going to be used as a weapon again. So she changed it from a very bad thing into a very loving, sweet thing.
Mm. Something like that usually happens from something very dark to make it into a positive thing, right?
Hmm.
I started to on New Year. I can't remember what it's called. Irene, you have to help me with the name. It's on right before New Year's. You can't do it too soon. Right before New Year's, you put like this wreath on your door.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to be a good luck. Bring bring you good
Mm-hmm.
luck into the new year.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese one, I'm talking about. You said are up there. It's usually like oranges. They also have on that little wreath.
Mm-hmm. Ours has rice. Yeah.
Right
It's
before New
it's
Year's, you put it on your door. It's supposed
yeah.
to bring you good luck through,
Mm,
you know, throughout the
Mm-hmm.
year.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they don't typically take it down until what the 7th,
Nope. The third.
the 3rd. Okay, I knew it was like you can't take it down on New Year's Day. Yet at least it's somewhat
Okay.
passed up until at least I want to say the 7th.
Yeah.
I forgot
Gotcha.
what's it called though, Irene? I can't remember. I know it when I see it. It's one of those things where I know what it looks like. That's
Second.
basically it.
Just a second. I got some right here. I'll turn around my camera. Ooh, there.
Yeah,
Oh,
you put those on your door.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
It
lovely.
Businesses also put them all in the front of their
yeah.
places too, and I love it because we walk around on New Year's, and we see so many of those
Yeah.
on the businesses. It's
I
supposed to
Okay.
attract good luck.
yeah. I
They're
have.
lovely.
They're made out of uh hay, dried hay. Okay. And
Okay.
you put one on the right side, one on the left side of your door as you come into your place. Um, and it's supposed to bring in better luck. The only time when you don't celebrate this is if a family member has passed away before New Year's. That's
Okay.
when you are supposed to be very quiet and very calm. And yeah, you don't celebrate New Year's if in your family member died.
Right.
Even it was if it's like the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, any of those months you don't celebrate New Year's at all. You're supposed to be
Okay.
very, very very giving, quiet, and remembering your family member who has passed on. And
Right.
that's the only time when you don't celebrate New Year's. But other than that, we do. Yeah,
Okay.
it's it's the most we New Year's is the most exhausting thing. Some people celebrate for 5 days, right, Amanda?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they
Every
And
start.
stay up
business,
past 10 o'clock.
every every business here is closed on New Year's. The only thing that wasn't closed on New Year's Day was McDonald's.
Yeah.
Even all the restaurants are closed on New Year's Day. That's how big New Year's Day is here, where no store is open, no
Mm.
restaurants open.
Wow.
Well, hers is in the country. That's why it closed early.
Yeah, well, mine is more. I'm in Nagasaki, so it's more. It's a rural area where it's mostly elderly. Compared to Irene, it's different because she lives in Tokyo, so she might have, with it being as big as it is, and with also a lot of the tourists there around that time.
So everyone stays
Mm.
open. And you're supposed to stay awake from New Year's Eve. You eat a bowl of buckwheat noodles, and then you go to bed. And the New Year's Day, you have a soup with some sticky rice in it. And you have that, and you eat all day.
I can get with that. That I'm okay with. It's a staying up late part I can't do.
Yeah, it's different foods have different meanings that day. That is
Yeah,
one thing I learned. I don't
you
remember
open.
what food means what. I just remember they have a little plate that's pre-made for that day, and
Yeah,
different foods represent
yeah.
different things.
And different food, like different, you have 7 different vegetables, which means one's good for this part of the body, one's good for that part of the body. It's like it's something very ancient from a long time ago in Japan. So you're supposed to eat a little bit of each vegetable to present good health, good wealth, and so you don't get sick and you don't feel bad, and you have a good year coming, so you don't you don't really dwindle on something that happened last year. You start moving forward to seeing something good for this year.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a lot of work to prepare.
You're
In
supposed
fact,
to eat what she said buckwheat noodles, also called
yeah,
soba noodles. It's
yeah,
because they're long, so it's supposed to represent like longevity, but can
mm-hmm,
also be
Oh,
easily
okay.
broken, so you
yeah,
can easily break old ties.
yeah.
Oh,
um
okay.
yeah, I mean, I do that. It's the most hardest time. I hate winter. Okay, because I'm end up cooking like all week, right? It's like, yeah, I end up cooking for 3 days straight, right? So it's not really fun for me.
Oh,
It's most difficult year for me. I said, no, I hate New Year's. But
oh,
yeah, but being Japanese, it's a traditional thing, and everyone's supposed to sit there and eat all day. So you start at noontime, and you don't finish till the end of the night, right? Before you go to bed.
I don't know if I can eat that much.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, believe me, most of it's vegetables, so it goes right through you.
Yeah,
You get hungry
yeah.
in another 3 hours. So yeah, so you're really going at it. It's just something different, and
Gotcha.
you have a fish. Oh, this is a soba noodles. I'm gonna show you this one. This is what a soba noodles. This one here. Okay,
Okay.
it's got a tempura in it, like
Okay.
shrimp tempura, naruto, and it's got soba noodles on the bottom. So that's what we have every New Year's at midnight.
Okay.
So you have to cook
Okay.
at midnight. So I have to cook at midnight, right? I never get any sleep, right? It's just something. And for New Year's, this is just half of it. But yeah, it looks like this. This is egg. This is chestnuts with sweet potato. This is black beans, and this is just a fish cakes here. So yeah, and
Oh,
they have all
wow.
different vegetables. Like this is one of them. This is another. This is and you have crab, and you have all kinds of different things you have with it. So yeah, that's what I do. That's what
Wow.
you do every
No
year.
wonder you're tired.
Uh,
On Christmas, it became a tradition here in the 70s
yeah,
to order and eat KFC.
yeah.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
So
Yeah,
you get a
so
bucket of chicken, right?
yeah, so how that happened, it wasn't always a tradition here in Japan, but it
No.
became one in the 70s due to due to the first, so that's when KFC came to Japan, and the first manager of the first store said he was walking by. It was before Thanksgiving. He was walking by some foreigners, and he overheard a conversation of them saying that they miss having turkey around Thanksgiving, since you can't you they have you have to import turkey here, so it's more
Yeah.
expensive. But majority of people either don't have an oven or they're really small, so they don't eat turkey. So they're like, "Man, I miss having turkey." So then he thought, "Well, what would be the closest thing to turkey? Chicken. That's
Yeah.
the closest thing
Hmm.
that we have." But then he was like, "Wait a minute, wait. What if KFC, instead of Kentucky Fried Chicken, what if every December it was Kentucky for Christmas?"
Yeah.
So he marketed it so much that he
Hmm.
actually made it a tradition in all of Japan that you
Yeah.
order fried chicken
Yeah.
and eat it on Christmas.
That's funny. Although I'm
Or
sure the KFCs over there are much nicer than ours. Most of the fast food places overseas are better.
um, it's either you go for KFC or you go to Costco and you get a number, right? You get a ticket, and you line
Mhm.
up and you get your spit, the roasted chicken, the
Rotisserie chicken.
yeah, you
Okay.
get one of those whole chickens for $4. I mean,
Okay.
for four, yeah, there's still $4. There's still 400 yen. It's like $4 in a way. If you're gonna
Okay.
not translating the rate, the money rate, it's like, yeah, it's still cheap. So everyone lines up and gets their roasted chicken and they bring it home and they eat that for Christmas Eve. It's either you
Okay.
go to KFC or or you go to Costco and everyone lines up and gets their chicken. It's either one or the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
And
it literally started with the first manager of the first KFC in Japan in
yeah,
the 70s, which is crazy. He obviously missed his calling. He should have been in marketing.
yeah,
Yeah. I hope
That's
he got a
yeah.
big bonus.
I was like, how do you hire this guy for your marketing? He
Oh,
clearly
and
that's what he should have been doing.
you get a decorative plate with it. I think you get a cake with it too.
Oh,
You do.
okay.
It is This year. It is white tiramisu, not the traditional Christmas. The
Yeah,
traditional Christmas cake here in Japan is it a? I know. Is it a? I know it has strawberry. Is it a sponge cake with strawberry?
it's just a regular white um uh what would you call it? It's like sponge cake with lots of whipped cream and
Strawberry.
lots of strawberries because right now
Oh,
it's
we call that
strawberry
a
season.
strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, because right now it's strawberry
Okay.
season. The hot strawberries are grown in hot houses, and they have hope. And the people rent a guy who owns a whole bunch of bees, and what he does is pollinate the flowers in the hot house and to make honey. And you rent them, and they don't sting anybody because they know who's there. And so yeah, and sometimes you can go to the strawberry picking farm and you can pay like what $20 and they give you a big thing of sweet cream and you just pick the strawberries off and you
Oh,
dip it in sweet cream and you
oh,
eat it. Oh god,
makes me
yeah.
want to visit. That sounds
Oh yeah,
good.
you should come. It's so different, like, yeah.
Well, let me pack my bags. I'm on my way.
Yes. And some farms you can pick your own um mandarin oranges off the trees. Like we got a
Okay.
farm right, yeah, and yeah, you can go. You can. They give you they give you bucket and they give you a pair of scissors and you just got snip how many oranges and you pay for the bucket. You pay by a bucket,
Oh, I
right?
love mandarin oranges. They're
Yeah,
delicious.
yeah. And the ones down my place is really sweet and really good. And then you go a little bit further the other way, you can pick your own blueberries in the summertime.
Okay, so you got it all mapped out.
Yeah, yeah. It's like this way for mandarins, that way for blueberries. Yeah, and they're not expensive. They're pretty cheap. So
No, I was born in 65. So I guess I missed all that because I was just a tiny little thing.
Mm,
And like I said earlier in the program, my mother fortunately had already witnessed all of this stuff with her grandmother, so it wasn't scary for her. Her daughter wasn't
yeah.
possessed or anything like that. So I personally, no, I've never felt persecuted.
Mm,
I've had people make fun. I've had people say
mm-hmm.
things that are rude, but that's kind of human nature, unfortunately, at times with certain people. But I,
Yeah.
I just talk to them like they don't bother me.
I think we're so used to it with being
Yeah.
paranormal in general, or everyone
Mm,
automatically are like, "Oh, you're into the paranormal. Well, you're going to hell."
Yeah,
like,
And I was like, "This
gosh.
this makes me want to go to church less." When you're already like, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to hell for being a paranormal. Like you can't. Curiosity is it's human to be curious. Okay,
Yeah.
there's things that we want answers to that are unexplained.
Yeah. Even
well,
even
you,
even the people who go to church has told me you can't be doing this work. I said, why can't I? Because it's wrong. I go, why is it wrong? And they can't answer that question, right? So yeah. Okay.
yeah. Ask somebody to define the word paranormal, and most of the time they can't. Oh, it
No,
just means that spooky stuff. No, that's not what it means.
no, no, no. Sorry. No, no, no. And I think they're I think they're scared. I think
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
what you can't see, what you can't feel, you're scared. It scares the
Right.
bleepers out of them, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? It scared me in the beginning, right? Because I can't
Okay.
see. I didn't understand. You don't understand.
Right.
Because when you don't understand, it scares the shit out of you, okay?
Sure.
And yeah, once you learn, once you can see, once you can feel, you you just okay, I get it. And
Hmm.
you're more calm about it, right? You're not freaking out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
And there are
glad
no
because
such things as dumb questions. There's never a
no,
dumb question.
I'm glad my mom, she was also an empath. So guess
Okay.
where I got mine from, right?
Right. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Like it was passed down, right? Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
I and she believed in going to church. She believed that you had
Okay.
to belong to something. But she
Okay.
never really pushed it.
Okay.
I think she thought maybe it would be good to have the basics so you learn the certain prayers. I said, now you know why I have to learn certain prayers. Because this is what I use when I cleanse a place. This is what I use when I need to blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, I'm thinking, thank God I learned that as a kid because I could use it as an
There you
adult
go.
when I go into situation. I go, okay. Especially when you need to when you need to you have to make up your own kind of like spell in a way to
Yeah.
protect
Yeah.
your home, right? And
Oh,
yeah,
sure. Sure.
it like it works. As long as you do it in here, it works. So yeah,
Right. It's all in
I
the intent.
yeah, I think I think yeah. And the only time when I felt really different was the priest looked at me sideways like this. He was a
Hmm.
cardinal. He was looking at me like this. I couldn't figure out why. I think he saw something different out of me.
Yeah.
But I never really talked to him. And I said, when I finished, I said, okay, let's get the hell out of here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt really like, geez, he's reading me. I didn't feel that. I didn't feel kind of comfortable.
Right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Do you go
We
on? Oh yeah, I love them.
Oh
I love
yeah.
them.
They're fun,
Yeah,
aren't they?
I've been to all kinds. Yeah, and we live close to Gettysburg, so that's always fun.
Ooh.
Yeah, and we've been to Antietam, and I love Louisiana.
Hmm.
That place is just crazy, But really, everything on the East Coast has just any good ghost hunts experience. Well, there's one. I used to be a guest speaker up at the orphanage in Gettysburg,
Mm.
and it was about an hour or so drive for me twice a month, and it was getting to the point where it was almost a dangerous drive up and down because when you channel, and when you see things, it takes a lot of energy out of you.
Mm-hmm.
So what made me stop was the last tour I did at the orphanage. I would always get two guys who looked like they didn't want to be there. They wanted no parts of it, that their girlfriend or wife or whatever made them come along. And I'd have them stand on either side of me and hold me by, the wrist and the elbow. And I would say Rosa Carmichael, excuse me, was the lady who was the bad keeper of the
Mm-hmm.
bad mistress, head mistress there. She tortured the children. She killed a couple of them. I mean, just a nasty all around person. Said, do to me what you did to them. And the next thing I knew I could taste a moldy sponge taste in my mouth, and
Mm-hmm.
it was close. Sorry, no more, no more, no more. And I said, what
Mm-hmm.
else did you do? And then the next thing you know, now I'm only 5'1". I'm not the biggest person in the world, and
Mm-hmm.
width wise, I'm not the biggest. I'm like average, but these two guys were holding me, and I said, "What else did you do?" And my back legs came up, like they literally levitated up, and was being pulled backwards. And a girlfriend of mine who was up there said the summer dress I had on, she said you could see a little hand pulling it off to the side, like it was trying to stop you. So on my way home that night, I see this Rosa Carmichael in the back of my car. So I pull over, I do a little blessing, I throw a little salt. It's like, that's it, I'm done. I'm not bringing any of these people home.
No.
But it was a crazy night. It was, and I know it
Mm-hmm.
sounds weird, but it was so much fun.
Yeah. For you, it's fun, but for them, probably good.
Yeah. Oh, most people be like, that's fun. Yeah, for me it is.
It is, isn't it? Um, do you? Okay. Um, geez, I don't even know how to put this.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I'll
spit it
leave
out.
it. No,
You can ask me whatever you want. It's fine. I'm an open book, and I do not get offended.
it's not you getting offended.
Okay.
It's
Ah,
kind of.
okay.
Are we? Yeah, I think I'll leave that.
Okay. I don't
I
want you to
think
be in trouble.
no, it's not in trouble. It's just that sometimes it gets dark when you talk about certain things, and sometimes
Okay.
you don't want to talk about. Sometimes you don't want to remember something, and
Okay.
I'm feeling that maybe I shouldn't tell you. Maybe I shouldn't
Okay.
go
Well,
there.
then you follow your gut.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
I think it could bring out something painful. It could bring out something yucky, and
Sure.
yeah, I just don't want to go there.
Okay.
You get it right? Yeah.
I get it. I
to
get it.
pro-
I totally get it. Yeah.
to
When I don't
protect.
listen to what they're telling me, that's when the
Yeah.
trouble happens.
To
And I always
protect.
end up going, yes, I know, I should have listened. And it could be something small or something
Yeah.
huge. It's usually
Yeah.
the small stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
stop. I don't need to do
I
whatever.
just want to keep
Yeah, I did.
this field protected,
Hmm.
and I don't want to bring whatever it is into this field because it could mess with you, and I just don't want to do that.
Sure. No, I 100% I understand.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Here's on the
Arizona
ceiling.
ceiling thing should be in myself. Little Eagles trip.
Yeah. In Japan we don't have mirrors in the bedroom. We don't have mirrors in the living room. We don't have mirrors anywhere except in front of the basin where you wash your face, or in the
Okay.
bathroom where you take a shower.
Okay.
Because, like they say, mirrors are portals. Okay,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah,
so
definitely.
even Amanda's house, she could tell you the same way that, yeah, we don't allow mirrors where we sleep, where we sit, where we eat. The only place they're allowed is in the bathroom, where you take a bath, or in front of the sink where you wash your face.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's more like a superstitious thing, right, Amanda?
Yeah, and some people even take it as far as they don't even allow TVs in the bedroom just
Mm-hmm.
because they say it's basically the same thing as a mirror. When the
Mm-hmm.
TV is off, you can see your reflection.
Mm-hmm.
So that too can be a portal.
And for ladies, if they have a vanity thing where you can put your makeup on, and they have a little stool, but they have a cover to cover it up.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
cover the vanity mirror up with a cloth, or with
Okay.
a particular heavy heavy towel, so it
Okay.
can't be seen when you go to bed. It's, yeah, like, this country's very superstitious. Like, yeah,
It's more
it's,
I went.
superstitious than religious.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I went to a house once and they told me they had all this crazy activity. And when I walked into, I think it was like a den or something, they had two mirrors and they were just about facing one another. So they weren't, I said, well, you've created a portal. We need
Yeah.
to at least move them apart so they're
Mm-hmm.
not facing one another. That's a big
Yeah.
no-no. And
Mm-hmm.
so, we did a cleansing, we did a blessing, they moved the mirrors slightly apart, and fine ever since. It's
Yeah.
kind of like opening your door in the middle of a city and saying, hey, come on in.
Yeah.
More the merrier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it, it, you know, you would think that it's common sense, right?
You would
it's
think.
not though.
But
Well, the problem is not everyone believes in ghosts. If you don't believe, even if you were told that, if you don't believe in ghosts, you don't care.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just really difficult. And trying to explain to somebody who doesn't understand, it's like it's like you were speaking in tongues in a way, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my husband's always been very, very supportive, and so is my family. But it's
Mm-hmm.
only been within the past several months that he's been my cameraman when we go out and film things. And so now he's seeing that side of it, and it's like that's pretty crazy. I knew you did this, that, and the other, but I didn't know that that was going to happen. I didn't think I'd see this, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, so it's interesting. He didn't
Yeah.
disbelieve me. He just, like most people, they need to see something, and he's seen some things now. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, it's really
So
opened
it's
him up.
probably going.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it when teams have that skeptic on the team. I kind of wish more teams had a skeptic
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because they work
yeah.
the hardest to prove
Mm-hmm.
it's
Hmm.
not paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They don't
When,
immediately jump to, "Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I heard that sound. It
Yeah.
must be something paranormal." Or that door shut. When you ask, "Give
Mm-hmm.
me a sign." It has to be paranormal. They're like, "No, let me prove that you're wrong.
Yeah.
Hold on." They will do
There's a window
anything to prove.
open.
They will make sure they can prove that you're wrong and it's not paranormal, which
Yeah.
is good because it
Yeah.
helps
Yeah.
it helps debunk anything that might be happening.
Yeah.
Well, wherever I go, I try to look for the most logical explanation first. Is it the plumbing? Is it the electricity?
Yeah.
Is your house just a hot mess? And that's why you're hearing scratches around because your house is icky. I'll say that. I've seen those houses. It's like, yeah, I know why you're hearing scratches, and it's not a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
I try to look for all of that stuff to put it on the table, as it were, and then look for the paranormal,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess
Or
is a little bit
even
of an
the
oddity.
energy of the family, if they're fighting, or if the kids are arguing a lot, or if the parents are having marital problems, it creates what you
Oh, sure.
create. And
Oh, sure.
it's not always paranormal. And sometimes you have to open up a window, sometimes you have to clear out their energy, sometimes you have to find a different light, or different I don't know, like, go and cleanse yourself. Like, just go outside and have a cup of coffee and just relax, and just,
Mhm.
yeah, change your your inner core to make yourself feel different. And what you bring in your house, the stuff that you bring in your house creates that. And it doesn't want to go away either, right, unless you
Yeah.
change it.
Yeah.
So,
I generally burn whole bay leaves in every room once a
mm-hmm,
month. It just helps break up that static energy and
yeah,
any kind of funk that's in the air.
mm-hmm,
Especially with three males living here, my husband, my son, and my stepson, and a whole herd of cats. There's usually something going on. So I once a week go in each room, burn the
mm-hmm,
bay leaf, say a couple of positive affirmations.
Yeah.
True words. Yes.
Here in Japan, we also have something going with Irene was saying with like how your emotions are. There is a ghost here in Japan, an embryo, I think it's called,
Mhm.
but it is a spirit of a living person. How that's
Mhm.
possible is they say it's mostly emotions like jealousy or a grudge against someone. Like, let's say
Mhm.
for some odd reason you have a grudge against someone so bad that they actually believe that it can manifest its own energy, like a detached spirit could come out of you, go
Mhm.
after and hurt this person, if
Mhm.
not try to kill them for you. It's
Mhm.
basically yeah. So I think that's one of those things. That's one of those forgive and forget kind of things. So it's like you're not creating your own ghost to go after them.
Yeah. Yeah, people do that and create poltergeists in their homes all the time.
Yeah.
That's why the
Yeah,
door's open. That's
Yeah.
why they're hearing a noise because the energy in there is so negative all the time. They've
Mhm.
literally created this critter.
Mhm.
So, and sometimes that's hard to get rid of.
Yeah. It's like the same thing with Japanese yokai. We call them poltergeist. We call them yokai. But yeah,
Okay.
once you invite them in, good luck in getting rid of it. Right? It's
Yeah.
it's almost it's almost it's not impossible. Nothing's impossible, right?
Right.
But yeah. That's why we try to make sure our houses are clean, make sure
Sure.
we don't do this, we don't do that. Yeah, make sure you don't keep your dishes in the sink. Make sure you wash your dishes. Put them in the dishwasher or put them away properly, and so you don't give them an advantage to do something to you or to your family in your home. And it's
I got a couple of forks in the sink. I think before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to wash them. I don't want any problems. Anything to avoid a problem.
Yeah.
I hope you're well. I hope you had a great
Yeah.
day. Yes, Thanksgiving. Oh, Haunted Taxi. Hi, guys. They are awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome guys.
the Terran note Moscato, it is a very vengeful spirit, but it is not what that's something different. It is though he was a Terrano Masacato. He was, or whatever it is, he was a samurai who back in the day he went against the emperor, but he
Mhm.
lost. And
Mhm.
to kind of, so this is also when Kyoto was the capital. As a warning of you don't go against the emperor, they took his head, put it on a stick, and left it out for display as
Mhm.
a warning. So
Mhm.
somehow it went from Kyoto back to Tokyo, and
Mhm.
no one knows how. No one is saying they took it and brought it there. What everyone is saying is that people are trying to claim that they saw his head floating through Japan back up to
Mhm.
Tokyo. So they
Oh
call
wow.
him the floating head of Japan.
Mhm.
So they actually built him a little shrine in Tokyo
Mhm.
to appease his vengeful spirit
Mhm.
near where he where he died.
Mhm.
Funny thing is, one since it is in Tokyo, it became a location of prime real estate. So
Yeah.
they did at one time tear it down to build office space.
Mhm.
However, everyone that was connected to that project had extremely bad luck or also got extremely sick. So they
Mhm.
thought they conjured up his spirit again.
Mhm.
He's angry, so now he came back. So
Mhm.
so they stopped the project and they rebuilt his shrine with his head still
Oh
buried in
wow.
there.
Yeah.
And they also have around his little shrine, they have statues of frogs. Because not only because back in the day, if a samurai went against the emperor and lost, they would also kill his wife and his children,
Mhm. Yeah.
so they cannot get revenge.
Yeah.
But two of his children escaped, and one of them, his daughter, supposedly found frog magic. So she tried to battle the emperor too and lost with frogs and a giant skeleton. And everyone's just like, well, how'd they lose if she had a giant skeleton? I don't know. It just said she lost, but it's supposed to be one of those warnings of don't go against the emperor, or you're gonna lose regardless.
Mm-hmm.
But
Wow.
also, not only you represent her, but also frog in Japanese is similar to the word return. They
Kairu.
put they put statues of frogs usually around shrines
Mm.
as a
Okay.
way of saying please return to the afterlife.
And if
Oh,
you keep a frog in your wallet, you can buy a small ceramic frog and put it in your wallet. It keeps the money in your wallet.
I know what I'm going to go on Amazon and look for.
I'll get you one. Don't go on Amazon.
Okay.
I'll get you one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You keep a little frog in your coin part, and it keeps the money in your wallet.
I've heard that
Kairu.
with cinnamon sticks. Keep a cinnamon
Mm,
stick in your wallet or a bay leaf in your wallet. Bay leaf's
yeah.
very versatile.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that sounds cute
Um.
though.
Yeah.
Oh, haunted taxi. You haunted is these are the best people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Your outro. Okay. Thank you, sir. Or ma'am. I don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you, whoever.
Um.
Can't really
Everything's
tell by
haunted here.
everything, but hmm?
Everything's haunted here. Like, yeah.
Well, some people
Even
don't.
If Amanda didn't where she moved in, I bet you she wouldn't have moved in to where she moved in if she knew it was haunted or not, right?
Okay.
Like,
Everything is haunted, so it doesn't really matter.
yeah, everything's haunted. Everything's haunted.
Right.
Renting an apartment, you got to make sure you have a really good clairvoyant with you to rent an apartment or to buy a house. I'm
Right.
glad I had my
Can
son.
imagine.
I had my
Okay.
son. He told me to buy this property. I need to buy this house. And he said, "Okay, we'll do it." But yeah, I mean, it's just like, yeah, you need one. 'Cause you don't want things going in and out of your walls, right?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, and every place I've ever lived, I've always seen spirit. But for me, like I said, that was just normal. What do
Yeah.
you
yeah.
mean you can't see the Revolutionary War soldier standing in the corner? Why not? I see him.
That's why I hate going to hotels, right? I went to Hiroshima. I went to hotel. I went to Nagasaki. I went to hotel, and I said to my husband, next time when you go to next time when you reserve a room in a hotel, make sure it's a new one, please. He goes, why? He goes, well, 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm awake, and I go, huh, what? Like, nah, please. He goes, oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, you're snoring in the corner. How'd you know, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I just hate going to hotels. And I said, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. It's just something about haunted places have the worst hotels ever.
Oh, I'm sure. Sure.
Oh yeah,
So we are
but
gonna end today, you guys.
yeah,
Tracy, if you ever want to come back for part two, let me know. We'll get you
yeah.
scheduled. We had such a fun time. Thank you so much for
Thank
taking the
you.
time to join us today.
It
Oh,
was a lot
thank you
of
so
fun.
much, Amanda. Thank you, Irene. You guys are great.
Thank
Really
We
had a
you.
enjoyed
lot of
ourselves.
fun.
I enjoyed myself immensely, and
Yes.
we have a lot of fun. You know,
Yes.
we learn and we cry and we enjoy ourselves. And there isn't one thing that we don't want to learn about. And I think we learn about
Right.
everything, and it's just something that because you're in this field and your witch, it makes it a lot easier to talk
Hmm.
about than to somebody
Sure.
who doesn't know anything, and it makes you feel more ease and ease, and you can open up and talk about things, you
Thank
know.
you, David.
Yeah. So
Everyone out
thanks a
there,
lot.
thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye bye.